Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. If you don't already know, March is my birthday month, and so I'm going to kick off March with this adorable birthday balloon shaker card. This card is something that I would love to receive, and so I'm going to show you how I created it today. I'm starting out with the birthday balloon stamp set from the stamp market, and it has these adorable, huge balloons, and I'm on this massive balloon kick. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of balloon cards from me this month. And I'm going to be using both that solid large birthday balloon and the open outline birthday balloon. And I'm starting out with that outline birthday balloon. I have it in my Misty stamping tool. And I've prepped some Nina Solar White cardstock with my powder tool. I've inked up that birthday balloon stamp in some Versamark ink, and now I am taking it over and adding some gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Now you're going to notice that I had some embossing powder stick to areas that I didn't want it. I think I exerted myself on the inking and the stamping of the stamp. So I'm just using a clean, dry paintbrush to clean up that area before I heat set this. Now, once I have it heat set, I am going to take the coordinating birthday balloon die set from the stamp market, and I am going to tape this outline balloon in place using some Thermoweb purple tape. And then I've grabbed a nesting circle die. This is a Hero Arts Infinity Nesting Circle die, and it fits perfectly inside of this balloon. So I'm just kind of nesting that inside that balloon outline shape. And then I'm going to run these through my die cut machine, and that's going to give me kind of this frame birthday balloon shape. Now I also have that solid circle that I can save for another project, but this is the piece that I'm going to be using on today's card project. Now, some outline shaped stamps lend themselves better to a technique like this than others, but if you can look at your stamps and find like a simple shape inside of them, like this balloon obviously has a circle inside of it, you can use some nesting dies to create a window inside of this shape. Now I have the solid balloon image, and I love these balloon images because they are so stinking big. They are like those giant birthday balloons that are like all the rage right now. And I don't know if you've ever seen them, but I went to go purchase some for a friend's birthday party, and they told me that it holds the same amount of helium as like 20 regular balloons. So to like blow up one of those huge birthday balloons was super expensive. I had to go with Plan B, which was regular size balloons. But I would love some giant birthday balloons for my birthday. So I have this solid birthday balloon. I am stamping it first in blush ink from the stamp market. And then I stamped it again in blush ink, and I added some bubblegum ink using this jumbo ink dauber from scrapbook.com. And then I inked it up again with a little more of that bubblegum ink on that outside edge and stamped it again. So I get this gradient of color. Now I'm going to clean my stamp and move it over to the other side of my card and kind of adjust it. I'm holding in this frame because I want to kind of place these strategically behind where my shaker element is going to be. And I'm going to use the same technique, but I'm using two different colors of ink from the stamp market. And I'm using Sea Glass ink and Tropic Teal ink from the stamp market. So once again, stamping it first in the Sea Glass ink. Then I'm leaving my cardstock in place, leaving my stamp in place, re-inking with that Sea Glass ink. And then I'm going to take my jumbo stamp dauber or ink dauber here. I'm going to ink it up in that Tropic Teal ink just on the outer edge, and I'm going to stamp that onto my cardstock. And then I can intensify that shading by going back and adding a little bit more of that teal ink on the outer edge of that stamp and stamping again. So in order to create my shaker window, I need a piece of window plastic, and I'm using this clear plastic from the Essentials by Ellen line, and I'm die cutting it with my birthday balloon die. I did use a metal shim in my cutting sandwich in order to get a nice clean cut with this clear plastic. And I also die cut a piece of vellum using that birthday balloon die as well. Now, when I create my shaker cards, I like a double layer of foam adhesive, and this is how I do it. I actually fold over my foam adhesive onto itself, and then I have that double layer, and then I can cut down a thin strip that will go around this balloon. So I'm going to start assembling the shaker here. And my first step is to add the clear acetate piece onto the back of this frame that I created earlier. And to do that, I'm using the Lawn Fawn glue tube. Now, once I have that in place, I'm going to take this double layer thin strip that I've cut down, and I'm going to remove both backing pieces. So all of the protective covering is off, and that allows me to actually shape this piece of foam adhesive all around the outer frame of my balloon. And I'm going to continue until I get to the other side of the balloon, and I can add my foam adhesive to where it closes up that inner well area of my balloon. Now, once I have that foam adhesive in place, I'm going to add some confetti. I have some from Pretty Pink Posh and some from the Stamp Market. The gold is from Pretty Pink Posh, and this clear confetti mix is from the Stamp Market. And then in order to add my backer piece, which is die cut from some vellum, I'm going to use some Lawn Fawn glue tube on top of that foam adhesive. And that's going to allow me to slide this vellum piece into place in case I don't place it exactly in the right spot when I put it onto the back here. Now I'm just making sure that all of this has really good contact, and then I can give it a second to dry, and that creates this independent shaker piece that I can then place onto the front of my card. Now this is also great to kind of create a tag. You can use this on just about anything. You could use it as a gift kind of topper, which would be a really fun way to use this, but today I am using it on my card front. Now for the next step, I am just stamping this string stamp. This is from the birthday balloon stamp set from the Stamp Market. I'm doing that in some black ink, and I should have cleaned up my work surface because I had some black ink transfer onto my card front, and I did not do that. But you live and you learn. No horrible things happened in the making of this card, but I did get a little black ink transfer in the lower corner. So make sure you're keeping your area good and tidy. And then I took the leaf stamp from the birthday balloon stamp set. I stamped it in some Stamp Market Citrine ink onto some white cardstock and die cut that. And I've die cut this birthday die from some Nina Solar White as well. Now this birthday die was actually a part of the February gift with purchase, which I did not know when I was using it, but it may be in the Stamp Market shop soon. So just keep your eye out for that. Now for the other portion of my sentiment, I'm going to actually use this Mini Alpha Cuts Stamp and Die combo from the Stamp Market. This is a really cool. Now this is available in the mini size that I'm using today, and it's also available in a larger size. So I'm going to link both of those below for you in the description. But this is one single stamp that has several like alphas on it. It has several, I can't even think today. Has several letters on it, and you stamp them all at once. So I'm stamping them in some Versamark ink. I've prepped the surface of my cardstock with my powder tool, and all of these colored cardstocks coordinate with the inks that I've used, and they are from the Stamp Market. Once I've stamped this onto my colored cardstock, I'm adding some Brutus Monroe Gilded embossing powder, and then I'm going to heat set all of these at once. So I have Blush, Bubblegum, Sea Glass, Tropic, Teal, and Citrine cardstocks with those alphas stamped on them. Now, just like they stamp all in one piece, they die cut all in one pass as well. So you're going to use the coordinating Mini Alpha die set and tape that in place over these alphabets, and then hold that in place with some Thermoweb purple tape and run it through your die cut machine. And then you have all of these little alpha tiles. They are so adorable. And I'm going to use the different colors of these alpha tiles. You can see I have tons of them left over and even some punctuation in here. And I'm going to spell out the word happy so that my card will say happy birthday. Now these would be really cool embossed in white embossing powder onto some black cardstock as well. And if you wanted to kind of die cut a whole bunch of these kind of ahead of time and have them in like a little baggie or container ready to go for your sentiments, it would be the perfect thing to have on hand. I think they are so much fun. They would even be really fun with some glossy accents covering them as well. Now I've attached them onto my card front using some double layered foam adhesive that I kind of created earlier. And I made sure that they were all in a straight line using my T-square ruler. And now I'm attaching my die cut sentiment using a little bit of that Lawn Fawn glue tube. And I'm just finishing this up with that little leafy accent there. Now, in order to give a little dimension to this flat die cut sentiment, I took a Copic marker in a really light gray color and kind of just traced on the left outer edge of this die cut all along each of the letters so that I could get a little bit of shading and shadow and help that pop off the card. Now I've assembled the card completely onto an Essentials by Ellen linen card base, cut to 4 1/4 by 11 inches and scored at 5 1/2 to create my top folding A2 size card base. And I added some more of that Stamp Market clear confetti on the front of my card as well. And that completes my card for today. I absolutely love these giant balloons from the Stamp Market. And let me tell you, if I could plan my own birthday party, it would look a little something like this card. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube, but head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. As always, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. If you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click the button on the left side of the screen. And here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.